guys, what's going on? It's me, Lilly, and today I want to report from the situation here in Europe from my basement, because outside it's far too hot. We had like 37 degrees Celsius today, so it's a really nice hot summer, but for making this video I went into the basement. First of all, I would start with some news on the war. So it seems as if the war in Russia, Ukraine is escalating. At first it seemed to be quite contained, but now both sides are bombing themselves far into their countries. So here there's a news that Ukraine is bombing an oil terminal near St. Petersburg. Also now Moscow is in flames. Here it's saying that Ukraine unleashed over 500 drones, and this was one of the largest attacks on Moscow. So it seems as if the war in Ukraine and Russia is escalating, and this puts me a little bit on alert because, as we know, Chernobyl is still in the area and it also was hit by a drone. So the very expensive hull, the protective hull that was built around Chernobyl, the ground zero of Chernobyl, was hit by a drone, and now this hull is leaking. And of course we don't want to have another disaster, so this is all very bad and it's very concerning to me. So here there's a newspaper article. This already happened a couple of months ago. Chernobyl radiation shield lost safety function after drone strike. A protective shield covering the Chernobyl nuclear reactor in Ukraine can no longer provide its main containment function. So there's a picture on how the hull looks. So yeah, that's really bad, and I hope that they can repair this structure pretty soon. Also, if I remember correctly, the first time when Chernobyl happened, actually they didn't inform the population for 5 days. So only after 5 days, after this major meltdown, they informed the population. A lot of people got hurt by the radiation, by the particles, and a lot of people lost their teeth, a lot of people lost their lives. So because of this example and other bad examples in history, I rather am prepared myself with my own Geiger counters that I can trust, instead of having to rely on governments. So today I want to show you a new Geiger counter that I have, which I'm really excited about, and you will see why in a minute. So this is a Geiger counter by the company Radiacode. And it comes with this really nice capsule, which is made from metal. I think it's aluminium. And this is not only protecting the Geiger counter, but also it's protecting the Geiger counter against an EMP. So yeah, this is the Geiger counter, and I have to say I'm really impressed with it. So now let's go and check it out. Alright, so this is the accessories that come with the Geiger counter. You have this awesome capsule that I've mentioned before. You also get a really nice soft case and some silicone cases. Also you get a USB cable, because you can recharge this device with USB. Then you get this handheld stick, so you can attach it to the stick, and also you can wear it on this wristband. And the best thing about this Geiger counter is that it comes with an app. So here you can see different kinds of diagrams and even a spectrogram. I think this is for the updated versions. But yeah, now let's switch on the Geiger counter, and you won't believe how fast this thing is reacting. Okay, so before we switch on the Geiger counter, I first want to show you this watch here. This is a radioactive watch that I found on a flea market, and it's containing radium. And it's really hot, so it's really radioactive. Okay, now let's switch this on. So this is just the normal background radiation here in my basement. And now just take a look at how fast this device is reacting, okay? Look at that. Now the app is making an alarm sound too. That's awesome. Oh my god. It's so great. I love it. This is so awesome. Look at this. So the sensor seems to be somewhere at the back here, where there's this cross. And look at this, it's unbelievable how fast the Geiger counter is reacting. Yeah, unbelievable. I really like that. You want to be able to detect radiation quickly. I've tested out so many Geiger counters on my channel even, and some take 30 seconds to react, and that's far too late. So you want to have a quick reacting Geiger counter, and this is just awesome. So here you can see that it gives you stats in real time, which is amazing. So every nerd out there, I think, will fall in love with this device. Look at that. It gives you all kinds of specs. I can only say I already have fallen in love with this device. It's so great. So now let's measure the watch again, and let's see how hot it is with this device. So I get like 17 microsieverts per hour. Also, if you're anxious that the watch is making the surroundings radioactive, don't be afraid. I think this can only happen if there's neutron radiation and some type of beta radiation. But the normal fallout that you're confronted with is usually not as strong to change objects like this table to a radioactive table. So most radioactive materials cannot do that, especially if it's low level radiation like this. So now I just take away this watch. I always have it in this container. And now I'm going to measure this area here. So there's nothing here. So you don't need to be afraid that a low level radiation fallout will change objects to radioactive. This is not happening. So if you have a greenhouse and there's tomatoes inside, but there's really strong fallout outside, if the particles are not touching the tomato, so if it's outside of the window, the tomato is not getting radioactive itself. You just have to be careful that there's no fallout particle on the tomato. You want to wash it off or peel it off to get rid of the radioactive particles. So you have to think about fallout as if it's dust. So anyways, this Geiger counter is awesome. I love it. It's so easy to use. You just download the app and connect it to your Geiger counter. Also, this is not only measuring low level radiation, but also very high level radiation. Now, a lot of other Geiger counters are maxing out at about 1 millisievert per hour, but this Geiger counter can do 9000 millisievert per hour. So where other Geiger counters are already maxing out, this one is still measuring. So it's not only good for low level radiation, but also for very high level radiation. Also, I was wondering why the Geiger counter is reacting so fast. Well, it has a different measuring device inside. Most traditional Geiger counters have a Geiger-Müller tube inside, but this one has a plastic scintillator inside with a solid-state photo multiplier. I don't know what that is, but I can only say it's reacting super fast. And it's really accurate. So I've measured the same watch a couple of times and I always get the same readings. Also, this device is super lightweight. It only weighs 76 grams. It's pocket size. You can easily slide it into your pockets, take it with you. And with one charge, it can operate for 200 hours. So that's really awesome. So because of this fast scintillation crystal detector inside, it can measure radiation up to 10 times faster than other devices. And that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, awesome. I like it. Now I got a new toy to play around with. So yeah, really awesome device. I love it already. I always get a kick out of a new toy, especially when it comes to Geiger counters, because I'm really into them. So if you're interested in this product, just make sure that you follow the link in the description below. And the model name of this product is Radio Code 0. And with my discount code Lilly2026, you will get a 5% discount. So Geiger counters are awesome. They are a little bit like fire extinguishers, and you are happy if you never need them, but if there's an emergency, you're glad that they are here. Okay, so now let's go back to the news. In Austria, the leftist party, they want to release prisoners earlier than they were sentenced. The left-wing party SPÖ wants to release up to 500 prisoners earlier through a one-time amnesty. But the Conservative Party in Austria is reacting and saying that this could be a security risk for the public. Also now in Germany, they want to abolish mini-jobs. So mini-jobs are jobs where you don't earn more than 603 euros, and these mini-jobs often come with only a few hours of working, which is often done by students, for example, or by pensioners. So if you got this mini-job, you don't have to pay income tax or social welfare contributions, and politicians don't like that. So now some politicians, they want to abolish mini-jobs. Now those politicians who want to abolish the mini-jobs are saying it's actually good for you, because then you would have to pay into the pension system, so you don't get into the poverty trap when you're old. But the thing is, the pension age is rising every year in Germany now. So I think it's now 67 or something. So those people who are young now, they actually might not even make it to the days when they go into pension. Also here we have another story, which is very unfortunate. So a motorcyclist crashed due to a system update. 26-year-old had a serious accident. Likely it was a very unusual case. The braking system on his electric motorcycle failed due to a system update. And because of this, the man had an accident and was seriously injured. Can you imagine that? The brakes are not working because the bike is making a system update. This is crazy. Also, there are not a lot of countries who are actually paying into the European Union. Unfortunately, my country is a net contributor, and it has been for years and decades now. And now our net contributions to the European Union are set to increase by 40%. That's crazy. Now some politicians are reacting. They are saying we are not an EU ATM. Yeah. And they are saying solidarity is not a one-way street. Austria will meet with other net contributors for more and further discussions. And now they think about introducing even more taxes so we can meet the demands of the European Union. Also now the European Union wants to relax bans on harmful substances in cosmetics. Cosmetics containing hazardous chemicals will be allowed to remain on the market for longer in the future. So if they find out that there's a toxic ingredient in some of the products, they will just give manufacturers more time to adapt for new bans. Yeah, it seems as if our health is not really important to them. Also, Austria is introducing more radical austerity measures again in the midst of a debt crisis, yet they are themselves helping to more money. So here it's saying while Austria is cutting back on spending, its top politicians are set to earn more. The coalition is planning a 1% salary increase. And 1% is a lot if you earn a lot, like our politicians. So yeah guys, this was a small update of the news here in Europe, and at the end of the video, just a reminder, if you want to check out this device, you will find all of the links in the description below in the first pinned comment. Thank you for watching guys, and stay tuned till next time.